time we're talking. I've gotten permission to use this, so it don't fucking matter. I did this once before, and the guy who I covered, who has all of his posts public and knew that everybody could find it, hated the fact that I covered all of his posts and debunked them all, so he reported the video. I don't know if it's still up. It probably is. I hope it is. When you don't see color, you can't see patterns, people. This is easy. Easy. Very easy. So then, I mean, these days it's entirely based on income, not color. Yeah? Yeah, is it? Yeah? 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 You sure? Yeah? Yeah? Are you I don't know. I feel like you're missing a little bit of nuance there, brother. Feel like you need to have a second thought. So let's have that second thought for him. You can argue income equality is based on race, but we've been past that stage for a very long time now. We literally had the economy shut down. And the majority of the people who were catching coronavirus were the people who had to work the low-wage jobs, which happened to also be the minorities, black and brown people of the country. So how are we past that stage if that was the thing that caused the entirety of the uproar that got us to the stimulus checks and the unemployment insurance boost? Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, when people say things, do they know what they're saying, or are they just trying to, like, generate thoughts for the point of, like, hearing themselves, like, see the comment and be like, yeah, you know, I have an idea too. It's like, you don't have to say everything that come out your brain, bro. Unfortunately, the stigma of getting out of the hood is very real and keeps the hood poor. No, are you black? Yeah, oh God, no, he's not. I don't know, fuck it, I don't care. It's a minority by virtue of what you're saying. Thus allowing crime to breed in low-income neighborhoods, which are predominantly black and Latinx. Okay. The whole inner city is poor, therefore there is crime is a systemic issue. Because I will tell you this very easily. It is very hard for a group of poor people to pool their money together and buy a piece of land and generate income off of that. It's very hard. It's hard for poor people in general, especially when you live in a city and it's constantly being destabilized by gentrification, rising rent costs, lack of economic resources, lack of mental health resources, and a very brutal police force. Everything you have said, sir, is very fucking stupid. I'm very sorry that I had to read that. Very sorry that my chat had to go through that. We're all now dumber for having read it. May God have mercy on your soul. I award you no points. Blah, blah, blah. So I wouldn't say that at all, but it's statistically proven that this is happening in communities of color nationwide, especially when statistically we still see a wage gap between men and women. If the gaps can be based off gender, it can be 100% based off race, and I'm not sure how you're making such a strong assumption. Don't forget that it's based off income. Long Island literally based their entire school system on income to prevent black kids from going to school in white neighborhoods, right, blah, blah, blah. There's books, blah, blah, this. Okay, so they went in. The income disparities because of generational wealth and then racist laws like redlining. Guys, okay. We've talked about the race theory before. If you don't know the race theory, it's not critical race theory, but the race theory. If you set back a group of people and then put them at the same point, how on earth would the people who were set back so far catch up to the people who have never been told stop running? This is obvious. I guess this comment just goes a little bit more into it, but that is the theory. It's obviously a solidified fact because it's present in human society all across, from feudalism all the way to the system of economic the system of economics that we have now and the understanding of economic principles. So that I don't need to dive into. You already got that. But yeah, redlining is like huge. Like if you put people in a really shitty place and like you look outside your window and it's like all garbage and shit and it's smog outside and it looks ugly and people are screaming, like you're not going to feel comfortable there, and it will definitely harm your mental health as well as your prosperity and being able to say, oh, the goal, everybody agrees, the goal in the hood is to make it out. You think we having fun? when we got to walk out and people got to load it up, I already did a whole thing on that. I wish you guys were here for that, but that's why you should check out the stream more often. We are the only country with social school districts based on property taxes. So fair housing laws weren't really enacted until the 1970s, which forced banks to give blacks mortgages at less than triple the rate of white customers. Even then, we couldn't. Right? Bad schools equals less education. Less education breeds poverty, and poverty breeds crime. Which is why this isn't only a fucking black and brown issue. It's easier to point that in that direction because the majority of us live in major cities, and due to that, like, you can see the disparities much more easily, but it also happens in poor white. Like, what do you think the redneck and the whole, like, the that whole thing is about? See, these issues are all the way around. If you addressed one part of it, you could address all of it. The problem is that you all lives matter people want to address all of it at once and not really wonder about, like, well, why in the first place, if that makes sense. I hope it does. How is racism still a thing? Oh, you're going here with it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm turning into the debate lord. It's happening. How is racism still a thing when blacks? Oh, matter of fact, you know what? I'm just gonna write down. How is racism still a thing when blacks, Hispanics literally have much better chances of getting city, state, federal jobs, student grants, scholarships, and much, much more? It's ignorant to blame race at this point. That's just straight up not true. Do not use affirmative act. Do not do that. I hate people who are just like, they have a better chance. Fine. You want to take the affirmative action route? I'm gonna shit on it and watch how your brain turn off this. Just watch. If affirmative action was so successful at getting black and brown people and Hispanics better chances at getting economic opportunity, then divide the opportunities they get by their own communities. And notice, it's like 3%, 5%. It's enough to generate the trust in the program to the places they go. That would be, oh, our population is 20% black, 15% Latino, blah, blah, blah. But like as a whole, you really telling somebody who got to take care of their 3 youngest siblings in a house that can only fit 4 people, in a house that can only fit 2 people, you really telling me like that's going to be easy? You can study around that? You can get to that point? You're a fucking liar. You're a Weasley little liar, dude. You're fucking crazy. Okay, it's ignorant to act like race plays no factor in life anymore. Creating programs to diversify city, state, federal jobs, much more as a result of the racist practices this country was built on. All these institutions were dominated by white people. You think we got historically black college and universities because they wanted to keep white people out? Those were created as a result of black kids not being allowed to go to white colleges. Yep. Russell Cook, well, that's a proper argument. Generational wealth stems as deep as the GI Bill during World War II, but now that's 80 years ago. I think enough has been done since to correct those wrongs. It just hasn't. Matter of fact, from that point onward, they kind of pulled shit back. When we were freaking out about Social Security, that was for everybody, not just poor black people. Come on. I'm begging you, homie, have a second or as I've said before, touch grass. I just want to see if he kept going after that. Everybody, yay. 80 years ago, which is why generational wealth can be an argument. Again, goes back to income. And although initially affected by race, no longer is affected by race. FHA is no longer redline and have it for years. But they never changed the ditch. I'm begging you to have a fucking second thought. Like the CIA pushed crack in the hood, bro. Like generational wealth at the same time as being influenced by outside factors for the state, for the state to generate wealth off of the prison system, which I'll be talking about on my live television show tomorrow, for the state to be able to generate wealth off of like Narcan. Like, I want you to really what do you think is the thing that's happening? Do you think black people just woke up one day and were just like, yeah, this is us? When they took us as slaves, they said we couldn't read, write, add, or subtract. But somehow in the places that we were in, when we owned the land, we were kings. We were respected, feared. We were war generals. Sorry, I was looking for the word. We had systems that you took from us to adapt into your lifestyles and then claimed it as your own. And we could easily see where you got it from. And you can't even understand cultural appropriation. You got the nerve to say, although initially affected by race, they don't do it anymore. The Nazis killed a lot of people. They don't do that no more. So we should never think that Nazis are bad until they, kill people again. You're fucking crazy, homie. The effects mean you can. It's like if somebody were to punch you in the face so many times that your nose is broken, your eye is hanging out of socket, you got fractured, and then right at the last punch they hit you with a sick ass 53 hit combo, auto chain into a sick 53 hit combo, and on the 54th punch they're like, and you scream at them, hey, why did you do all of that? And they're like, why are you mad at me? I didn't hit you just now. I could have, but I didn't. You shouldn't be mad at you. But you hit me 53 times before. Yeah, but I stopped. Help me make it make sense. Oh, man. Okay. Mortgage banks do not redline. Yes, they do. I guarantee you I can get pre-approved for any Long Island neighborhood without issue as a black male. You got the bread for that, bro? Because the money is what's talking, not your skin color. And even then, you're going to move into that neighborhood and you know what you're going to get, right? I've been to Long Island plenty of times. Like, once you go further out, like, black people become scarce. And, like, I'm not even trying to say it, but, like, you can see how black people have assimilated to Long Island culture. Long Island is a beast in its own. Like, you really got to take that for what it is. I'm sorry. I'll do some additional research. All right. That's the end of that one. I just wanted to show you what Facebook discourse is like when people just say shit. Like this picture, this meme, this statement is enough to like get it. And somehow you just don't get it. Like, you needed to have all of this, and then I'll do additional research. This is why I say, don't open your mouth if you don't know the full story on what you're talking about. Have an opinion, it's fine, but be ready to learn. If your opinion is in this way and you need to be taught the differences, then what are you doing? And as a black male, you here copping for the system that keeps our people down? That's crazy. You're a fucking liar, dude. You're a fucking liar. Get him the fuck out of here.